You know, if you're a parrot owner, there's almost nothing more heartbreaking than seeing your bird pulling out its own feathers. It's just incredibly distressing, and you feel so helpless. And you know what? You're absolutely right to be concerned. So let's dive into this puzzle together and really figure out what's going on with your feathered friend.
Because this isn't just some weird, quirky habit. No way. What you're actually looking at is a symptom. It's a sign, a cry for help, really, that something is deeply wrong in their world. So think of it like a mystery that we've got to solve. And our first step is to really understand what this behavior even is.
All right, so let's get right down to it. What exactly is feather plucking? What are we really looking at here?
Okay, so the official term vets use is feather damaging behavior, or FDB for short. And you gotta understand it's a spectrum. It can start out kind of small, maybe just chewing on the ends of their feathers, but it can escalate to pulling them out completely. And in the worst cases, they can actually start damaging their own skin. It's essentially a form of self-harm, and that is a massive red flag we can't ignore.
And look, this isn't a problem that's limited to just one or two types of birds. We see it in so many different species, from those brilliant African grays to the big, charismatic cockatoos. I know seeing pictures like this can be really tough, but honestly, facing it head-on and recognizing the problem, that's the absolute first step.
Okay, now before you start Googling home remedies or changing their diet or anything like that, stop. Your first, and I mean most critical stop, has to be an avian veterinarian. I really can't stress this enough. This is the one step you absolutely cannot skip. And let me tell you why.
Listen to this because this is huge. Experts from the Royal Veterinary College say that the vast majority of birds who do this have an underlying health problem. Think about that. It is almost never just behavioral. So if you just assume your bird is bored, you could be missing a really serious illness. And the list of what could be wrong medically? Wow, it is long. We're talking about anything from poor nutrition, vitamin deficiencies, all the way to serious stuff like liver or kidney disease. It could be a hidden infection, parasites, or even skin allergies from something as simple as dust in your house, or, believe it or not, nicotine on your hands. There's just no way for you to figure this out on your own. Only a vet can run the right tests to get to the bottom of it.
All right, so let's say you've gone to the vet and they've given your bird a clean bill of health. Phew! Okay. Now our investigation pivots. This is where we put on our detective hats and start looking at your bird's entire world, everything from what they eat to the very air they breathe.
First up, let's talk about food, 'cause it's the foundation of everything. So many parrots are stuck on these all-seed diets, which, let's be honest, it's like feeding a kid nothing but candy and potato chips. It's high in fat, super low in essential nutrients, and it can even mess with their hormones. What we really want is a balanced, pelleted diet. Think of that as their healthy, complete meal. Seeds and nuts, those are just for treats or training, not the main event.
And just as important as diet is sleep. And this is a big one that so many people get wrong. Parrots need 10 to 12 hours of uninterrupted sleep. We're talking a quiet, dark room, just throwing a blanket over the cage while the TV is still on in the living room. That's not going to cut it. Imagine trying to sleep like that. Sleep deprivation is a huge source of stress for these birds.
Okay, next up, the air itself. Remember, most of these parrots come from humid, tropical rainforests, right? And our homes, they're usually super dry, especially in the winter. Think about how your own skin gets dry and itchy when the air is dry. It's the exact same for your bird. That constant itchiness can easily lead them to start plucking. Seriously, something as simple as a humidifier can be a total game changer.
So we've got their body feeling better, but what about their mind? In the wild, these birds are smart and busy, spending hours every day just looking for food. We call that foraging. Then they come into our homes and poof, food just magically appears in a bowl. Talk about boring. So the key is to make them work for it again. You can start super simple, like just covering their food bowl with a piece of paper. It gets their brain working, taps into their natural instincts, and it's an incredible cure for boredom. Okay, we've looked at medical stuff, we've looked at their environment, but now we need to talk about the one thing that is often the most surprising and, frankly, the biggest piece of the puzzle for so many owners. Let's talk about hormones. See, out in the wild, a parrot's hormones ramp up for breeding season, and then they calm back down. It's seasonal. But in our homes, without even realizing it, we can be sending them signals that keep them trapped in this constant year-round hormonal state. And let me tell you, that is incredibly stressful for them, physically and mentally. It's one of the biggest triggers for feather clucking out there. So the big question is, how are we doing this? Well, take a look.
petting them anywhere but their head and neck, giving them warm, mushy foods, even giving them lots of shreddable stuff that they can see as nesting material. We do all these things because we love them, right? But to a parrot, these aren't just signs of affection. They are powerful mating signals. We're accidentally sending them all the wrong messages, and it's driving them crazy.
You know, there's no way to sugarcoat this, so let's just be direct. When you pet your bird on its back or under its wings, you are, from their perspective, engaging in foreplay. Their body literally has a sexual response, so we've got to stop giving them the wrong idea. From now on, stick to petting them on their head and feet. That's it.
Okay, so we've done all our detective work. We've gathered all the clues. Now it's time to put it all together into a solid action plan that you can start using today.
All right, here it is, your step-by-step plan. Think of this as your new playbook. First, get that vet check to rule out anything medical. Second, upgrade the diet. Third, guarantee those 10 to 12 hours of quiet, dark sleep. Fourth, make them work for their food with more foraging and enrichment. Fifth, get that humidity up. And sixth, and this is the big one, stop all those hormonal triggers we talked about. Oh, and one last really important tip. If you see them plucking, try your best not to react. I know it's hard, but running over and yelling can actually reward the behavior with attention, making it worse.
Now, I need you to hear this part, and it's really important. You have to be patient. This behavior didn't pop up overnight, and it's not going to disappear overnight. It's going to take time. And you know what? The goal might not even be to stop it completely. Sometimes if the feather follicles get damaged, some feathers might never grow back, and that's okay.
And that really brings us to the most important question of all. What does success even look like? We have to change how we think about this. Success isn't about having a bird with perfect, flawless feathers. Not at all. Success is about having a companion who is happy, who is healthy, and who is excited and engaged with their life. Remember, the plucking is just the symptom. Their overall well-being, that is the real goal.